Yeah, Control-Shift-T is buff, you're right. But the problem is I closed the whole web page. I only needed like 2 things from it, so it's not a big deal. I don't remember why we had to kill so much time right there. From NY, my friend and I went to CPT. We ended up talking shit about DR when later on we realized the guy next to us was DR Ray. Man, that's a much happier ending than I expect. DR Ray would have fucked you up. You're lucky he doesn't speak that much English. DR Ray, first of all, cool dude. I'll tell you that. Second of all, nice guy. Third of all, he would have took you guys out back, busted up those kneecaps, all right? Nah, DR Ray is a good dude. I like the Dominican players a lot. They're all really good. You better watch your kneecaps, bro. Anyway, this is a weird matchup, so I'll tell you this. There's a lot of matchups with Menat that I feel like really are the ebb and flow, really rely on the ebb and flow of momentum, and this is a good example of one. I really think that unless Balrog gets momentum very fast, you're in a bad position, because what happens is every time the orb, this is the worst position in the game, right? One of the worst positions in the game. Anytime that you being Brian F in this situation, are stuck between Menat and the orb, you're in a bad spot. This is a really terrible position to be in, right? It's probably one of the worst positions to be in the game, because when the orb is when the orb is behind you like that and Menat has the summon available, it's like everything she does is so risky for you, you know? Everything she does is so risky for you. So like even stuff like sweep into recall, you have to deal with, right? You have to deal with the mix-up after. And then he throws you full screen, then he shoots the orb again, and now the orb is behind you. And you have to make a choice every time. Do you, as Brian, backdash to put yourself away from the orb? Or do you try to move in and fight Menat behind the orb? Because if she resummons and you don't hit her, you lose. So he tries dash punch. Now he's going to resummon. It's going to beat the tab because of the active frames, and he's going to put you back to full... Oh, he could have done V-skill there and put him back to full screen. Again, it's one of those things where like it's always a bad position, and every time you have to guess in that scenario, it's a bad guess for you. Neutral jump again. The orb is out. This time he backdashes, but he loses his screen positioning because of it, right? Like Menat gains the ability to push you away just by threatening with the orb. I would have liked to see Brian do uppers on those. Again, he's between the orb. If he backs off, he's giving Menat space. If he moves forward, then he's in a bad spot. Like right here, this is a bad position. Yeah, see, that's exactly why. The minute you move forward past the orb like this, Menat really is in control. Because anytime she gets a button into summon, or even just a raw summon and you're not blocking, he confirms it into low forward EX every time, right? Knocks you full screen, he throws the orb again. Same situation. Do you backdash to avoid being between it, or do you try to move in and eat extra damage? It's like a war of attrition that's always in her favor, unless you can make the mix-up happen. Unless you have some kind of mobility to move away from it, or you have buttons to hit against her, it's really hard. See, right? Every time that orb is there, it's so risky. And Infiltration has a really good recognition of when opponents like to move. It takes the sweep. Yeah, orb knockdown again, overhead. Even if you block it, it's just chip and gray damage added up, right? Like, Brian F is not really getting hit. In this scenario here, look at his health. Let's mark it. So there's his health. Look at this, right? He doesn't get hit here. It's just chip, low forward. He gets hit. He hasn't got hit by it yet by a jab. That's all chip and gray damage. He eats one slide. Down jab. He gets the resummon. He goes low. He got hit, what, like twice there? Just a few... There was no combo. There wasn't really a heavy mix-up. He just got hit low once. And he's lost a good chunk of life, right? You're eating gray damage when you block the medium normals. You're eating chip damage every time she recovers the orb. It all adds up really fast. And every time she resummons that orb... Oh, this is a bad spot. Yeah, this is a bad spot. Every time she resummons that orb, you're in a really bad position. Now, this sucks for Infiltration. He has to get the recall. Yeah, that's what he was waiting for. And if you're Brian F there, you got to try to walk up and throw, I think, so that you force the animation. Right, that's one thing I would have liked to see. He's got to pressure super hard when she doesn't have orb available. Like right here, he gave her a little bit too much space, I think. Right here, you try to throw. Because if you try anything else, it's very risky. Jump back. He's trying to find the what's it called? The dash punch. He didn't believe in canceling it into the double medium kick trade. And again, yeah, he's dead. As long as the combo hits here, he's dead. Are you serious? Oh, it's still ticking. Oh, it's the YouTube video? All right, well, it's a combo. What's happening here? Huh. All right. He's dead. Is the moral of the story. Why is the YouTube video being so laggy? All right, we're back to normal. Yeah, same scenario again. You see Infiltration backdash. He wants to build space so that way he can summon and he can resummon again. See, look at this. Even though he got tap on block, like tap is a good thing for Balrog generally, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? So the normal ways that you deal with projectiles is not the way you deal with Menat Orb, right? Out of the air, he gets the jab. Like, the ideas you have about normally dealing with projectiles are not the same against Menat. You can't treat it like a normal fireball. You have to treat it like it's, you know, another thing moving in. Wow, that was actually a combo. Neutral jump. Look at him. He's really shutting down all these options. Yeah, nothing after the V skill. V reversal. It's an escape V reversal. Had he recognized that it was, so he sees it's a V reversal. Right here, he should just wait for it to appear on the other side and hit it, right? That's probably the best way to do it. It has a decent amount of recovery. Again, right here, resummon. Even if he doesn't get the mix-up, it doesn't matter. He gets pressure on block after. Or he forces your answer on block. V-skill doesn't combo. Yeah, down fierce. Clean down fierce. Very hard to jump in on this. Even if it trades kind of a lot, but it doesn't matter when you're low on life, right? Yeah, this time the heavy punch orb, so it comes down from the air, so that way he's threatening the air approach. What orb you throw really depends on where you can threaten on the screen. That's why generally Infiltration throws medium orb here. Yeah, this is medium orb. All right, resummon. This is what Brian needs, right? More corner control. Although he gets hit by a standing medium punch, and so for that he's probably going to eat about 50% here. Reset instead, so no bar spent. It means that Infiltration can spend some EX on confirms, or if he gets a low forward, he can go right into CA and close out. See, that resummon is so scary, right? You're so worried about it. Yep, dash up. He missed it. That could have been CA into death. Down jab. She has one of the furthest ranging jabs. Yeah, V reversal out of the corner. Brian F didn't even try to hit a button after. There's for sure some weird decisions. Yeah, he mentioned that he doesn't know the matchup. You can kind of tell. Good backdash. I like that a lot. Oh, crushed him. Not the round though. He needs one more mix-up. Infiltration has CA. This makes him real dangerous. Yeah, what a reaction to the dash. He was really good at that all weekend. I feel like I am surprised. He did that more than I've ever seen him do that before. The standing light kick check, it's really hard to do. Oof, whiff punish on the tap. Although he's got her cornered already. Yeah, this is what he wants. You can't let her the screen real estate to set up the orb. Anti-air? Oh no, this is what Brian wants. Yeah, he needs this position to work out. He doesn't know how to get in past the orbs, huh? It's really hard. You can't really poke against them safely because, like, the hitbox of the orb, you know, this is the hitbox of the orb, right? But the hurtbox of Menat is, like, over here. She's chilling, you know? The character's over there. Again, a tap usually a strong option. Dash punch is usually pretty strong. But against Menat, it's not the same. You know, she has the ability to resummon the orb, and that's mix-up punish, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's an okay risk against Menat generally, just not when she has V-trigger. Because usually her punishes are not very strong, right? Like, double down jab is what she got here. Jab, jab. That into EX is not a big deal, but when she has V-trigger on deck, this was really unfortunate. Boom, right into CA, right? Well, Blazingham, look, we're going to get through the tournament. We're going to get through the tournament. We're only on LCQ right now, but we'll get there. The drill, overhead. This is Brian's opportunity. Counter hit. Goes low again. Oh. That was sick.
Do you see the look on that man's face? Look how big his eyes are.
That's the kind of stuff he needs, right? Because clearly the neutral is not going well for him. So he needs to make those offensive opportunities count. Yeah, it's going to be a long stream, but we're not going to do it all in one day. I'm not watching all of Capcom Cup today, I'll tell you that. We're going to watch it in bursts. We're going to it's probably going to take us 2 or 3 streams.
It was not a long-term win. It was a huge comeback. He needs much more than that.
Yeah, the resummon goes low this time, and he builds up a lot of screen space. Again, yeah, anytime you go between Mana and the orb like that, it's bad. It's bad news. You have to constantly make decisions about whether you want to actually move in on her or not.
You can see how it has changed and affected both Infiltration and Brian F. Look at the ranges that are being played this time around.
Again, the resummon throws out another orb. This time the overhead lands. Takes the reset into back throw for positioning. And look at that. This is like the range he wants to wait, right? Because at this range, Brian has to respect the orb resummon. Hey, shut up. He has to respect the orb resummon, right? So like this right here is where Infiltration gets to resummon and then throw the orb again. And now Brian has to like respect it again. So he has to make a decision. If he moves in, which is what he did, this is a good example of this. When Infiltration throws the second orb, he forces a decision every time. The decision's on your terms, right? When he puts the orb behind you, there's 2 choices as Brian F. One is to backdash and go that way, just to run. And when you do that, you give him a non-screen space. The second option is to try to go in and hope that you're right. Right? That's the other one. And that's what he does. He dash punches and it connects, right? But for every time that works, there's a time where he gets hit by the orb and it doesn't work, right? Overhead. Yeah, I got the resummon on V skill. Now he gets a mix up here. Instant overhead. Ah, he just got hit. Yeah, the roadies are rolling in. You know how it goes.
Because Manat doesn't have huge punishes for stuff like that generally.
You have to be careful because if that orb is out, we've seen him put buttons there just to make sure it's blocked and then hitting a button.
Sweep. Oh, he doesn't even get a punish. Maybe he missed his punish. I don't know. He could have gotten down strong probably. All right, he gets a little bit of space. He spends 1 EX bar for low damage and not a lot of space. Overhead. That was really good to punish the landing, or the to check the landing frames. Got him, yeah. He has a lot of damage. Orb's out again. Resummon. Every time she gets to walk, that's the most advantage situation, right? When you get the resummon and she has time to walk forward after is the best. That time she didn't have that far to walk. But the further she gets to move, right, the further the orb is, the better. Oh.
2-1 Infiltration. She gets so much meter. I mean, she throws like 100 orbs around, Steve.
Yeah, Steve brings up a good point there, right? Is that Manat always has CA at the end of every round, right? Because she does orb toss, orb recall, orb toss, orb recall, orb toss, orb recall. And her EX moves aren't that good, besides confirming off light buttons. So what happens is you end up in a situation where you almost always have CA at the end of the round when you have V-trigger, or you can confirm it off like a low-medium kick, right?
He must. I mean, if he's doing stats, he's got to be.
Yeah, the low. This time he went for overhead. Brian F with the backdash. He didn't want to deal with the pressure, but again, he's stuck between her and the orb, so you have to sit here and deal with the mix-up, and it's never good. Almost like it's good to thank people like Hot Dog, and who gives me that 3 months in a row. Thanks very much. I got to tell you, yesterday, I went out for hot dogs with Jeremy and Ringe. They eat like a bunch of weirdos. I'll tell you what. Oh, fucking strange. You got to ask Ringe. If he's still around, you got to ask Ringe about that. All right. V-trigger. He gets 50-50 here. Instant overhead or not. I like the V-reversal. I like the V-reversal. Because the best way to handle her orbs if you don't have a EX move is to go for the guaranteed V-reversal attempt. Right? And just force her to try to bait it or something. Yeah, that actually stuffed it. Overhead, punish this. Oh my.
Out of the air. He can juggle with EX.
Look at this corner switch, like a real boxer, from corner to corner.
Yeah, lots of plus frames there. No, he didn't do anything to it. Oh my god.
You gotta be careful blocking now because now you're in chip damage from this CA.
And just wait. Yeah, this is a position where you should just wait. I'll tell you what, I was during this commentary, I looked over at the players, and Infiltration's hands, he was wiping them on his pants. Like his right hand, he was wiping them off because he was like, all right, I got time to sit here and wait.
Oh, wow. You gonna turtle it down?
There's not a lot of good options because the minute Brian F moves forward, he's gonna resummon the orb.
From Brian F here.
Like the minute he goes past that orb, it's a resummon, right? Yeah, right here, resummon.
Back tap again.
Doesn't matter, right? The tap is such a strong move. Even if that was a final tap, it doesn't matter because the orb resummon is there. As long as she doesn't get hit, he loses. So taps and dash punches there is not the right choice.
And that's the problem. Stuff like that, Balrog wants to lead with tap. He wants to lead with V-skill.
Yeah, Vicious ordered a hot dog called the Hung. It's like a Hungarian dog, but it's like a foot long. So he's got this huge hot dog and like a 5-inch bun. Oh, down fierce was a little greedy. Maybe low forward summon would have been better. I like that more, right? I like that more. In this situation where the orb is back here, right, in that top corner back there, Brian, instead of going for tap or dash punches, actually just goes low on the resummon. How much analysis have you missed out on? We're just watching the top 3 of the LCQ right now, so you got a little bit of time. We haven't gotten into the main Capcom Cup events yet. Confirm again, and now he has got V-Trigger too. 2-bar V-Trigger for Minot. He forces a 50-50. Overhead would have been safe, or he could have comboed off of it because of the orbs, actually. So, brutal.